Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Anamika's World of Science. Anamika here. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the animal kingdom and their classifications. So in this video, we are going to detailedly study about different phyla. So if you're watching my channel for the first time, do like, share and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you won't miss another update from Anamika's World of Science. So in this video, you should watch until the last because I have something for you. I'll be giving something special if you're watching till the end. To study this current discussion, you should know the basics of this portion. So I will put the link towards a previous lecture in the card. So you can just click on that card and go and watch the video so that you will understand this lecture very easily. So let's go to the discussion. So this is the first slide. It's a classification of animal kingdom part 1. This video is on non-chordates, that's animals which don't have any chordate characters. In the second slide, I have given that the broad classification of animal kingdom based on the common fundamental features. That is, there are common fundamental features that we have already learned, that is the level of organism, symmetry, body cavity or coeloms and phylums. In the level of organization, we have learned that the cellular level, then the second type is the tissue, organ and organ system level. In the case of symmetry, we learned that there are mainly two types of symmetries, radial and bilateral symmetries. And now if we are taking the case of body cavities or the coeloms, there are three types, that is the without any cavities, false cavities or true cavities, that is S-coelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomate. And now we are going to study about a new word, that is phylum. Mainly there are classifications of phylum. They are PORIFERA, COELENTRATA or Cnidaria, CTENOPHORA, PLATYHELMINTHUS, ANNELIDA, ANNELIDA, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. So our aim is to study each of these phyla detailedly. The first one is phylum PORIFERA or the sponges. See how beautiful they are. In case of phylum PORIFERA, they are commonly called as sponges. They are generally marine. They are found in seas. Mostly they are asymmetric. So if you have any doubts regarding these words, you can just go and watch the previous video. I have detailedly mentioned about these in the previous video. Second point is the primitive multicellular with cellular level of organism. That is, they have a cellular level of organism, but they are multicellular. They have a cluster of cells. They are having an intracellular digestion. That is, the digestion is inside the cell itself. Third point is they have a water transport canal system, which is also known as aquiferous system. The main point, the frequently asked question is, what is water transport canal system? That this water current plays a most vital role in the physiology of sponges, and the body wall of the sponges consists of two epithelial layers, that is outer pinacoderm and inner choanoderms. The pinacoderm consists of porous cells which bears opening called ostia. Choanoderm is composed of choanocytes or collar cells. The following are the functions of water canal system, which is a frequently asked question. The first function is all exchanges between the sponge body and external medium are maintained by means of this current. Whatever exchange, that may be the respiratory, circulatory or excretory exchange, it is happening inside this water current system or is because of this water current system. The food and the oxygen are brought into the body through the water current, and the excreta or the excretory product is being taken out from the body with the help of this water current. The reproductive bodies are carried out into the body of the sponges by the water current system. That is, since they are living in water, the main transportation way of these reproductive bodies is via the water current. Now the next is some important terms in phylum Porifera. Ostia. They are the minute pores through which water enters into the sponges. The second one is the spongocoele. They are large central cavity of sponges. Osculum is a large aperture in the sponge through which water is expelled. Fourth one is choanocytes. They are the flattened cells with collar protoplasm at the base of the flagellum. Fifth one is spicules or sponges. They are the structural elements of most of the sponges and they provide structural support. That is, they are like our skeletal system. And below you can see the main examples of sponges. They are cycons, spongillas and spongia. They are economically important. Now the next phylum is phylum Coelentrata. Second one is the phylum Coelentrata, and in this case they are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or freely swimming radially symmetrical organisms. What is sessile and what is free swimming? Sessile means they are fixed to a substratum. Free swimming means they can freely move without any restrictions and they are radially symmetrical. This word Coelentrata is derived from the word nidoblast or nidocytes. They are a tissue level of organism they are diploblastic. They have a central gastrovascular cavity with single opening mouth. Digestion is extracellular, that is, the digestion takes place outside the cell, and intracellular, that is inside the cell. They have mainly two basic forms. They are polyp and medusa. Now the next one is another question which is frequently asked in the question paper, that is, they show alternation of generation. That is, the occurrence of two or more forms differently produced in the life cycle of a plant or animal, usually involving the regular alternation of sexual and asymmetrical generation. Check this slide. Alternation of generation. First they form medusa, then they form a polyp and again medusa. Such a generational alternation is called alternation of generation. Now next is, what is a polyp and what is a medusa? Polyp and medusa names for the two body forms, one non-motile and one typically free swimming. The polyps are non-motile, they are sessile, but the medusas are free swimming. They are found in the aquatic invertebrates. Some animals of this group are always polyp, some are always medusa. In some cases, they exhibit both polyp and medusa stage. The polyp is sessile and non-motile organism. Well-known solitary polyps are sea anemones. That is, example of a polyp is sea anemone, and the freshwater is hydra. Medusa, when it is free swimming, is popularly known as jellyfishes. Now the next one is alternation of generation in detail. Just take the first picture, that is the mating of a medusa's male and female. The sperm and the egg from these medusas will be generated or is fertilized to form zygote. Then these zygotes are then developed to form blastula, then they form larvas, and later the larva will be settled down to form a sedentary polyp. Then these produce a medusas asexually to form an adult medusa. This will continue for the generation of the next formation. The examples of COELENTRATA are Physalia. They are called as the Portuguese man of war. Adamsia, they are called Z anemones. Pennatula, they are called sea pen. Gorgonia, they are called sea fan. Miantia, they are called brain corals. Next one is phylum CTENOPHORA, also called as comb jellies or sea walnuts. They are exclusively marine and they are radially symmetrical, diploblastic organism with tissue level organization. They bear 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates which help in locomotion. Digestion which is taking place extracellular or in intracellular form. The bioluminescence, that is the property of any living organism to emit light, is being showed by the ctenophoras. They have sexual reproduction, and examples of these phylum is Pleurobrachia and Ctenoplana. So the next one is Platyhelminthus. They are also known as flatworms, tapeworms, and flukes. So they are dorsoventrally flattened. So they are called flatworms. They are acoelomid. Mostly they are entoparasites found in animals. And they are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, organ level system. Hooks and suckers are present if they are parasitic. If they are parasitic, they need some adaptations for their living condition in case of their parasites. So, in this case, hooks and suckers are being formed. Some of them absorbs nutrients directly. The specialized cell, which is also known as the flame cells, which will be regulating or which will be helping in regulating the osmoregulatory function and the excretion of the excretory waste. Fertilization is internal and developed through larval stage. Some shows high regeneration capacity as well. So I have given some examples of Platyhelminthus phyla, that are the flatworms, monogenean, flukes, tapeworms, and below you can see the flame cells. What are the flame cells? They are the specialized cells which will be helping in the osmoregulatory and excretory function. The next one is phylum Aschelminthus. They are also known as the round worms. That is, their body is circular in shape, in cross section, so they are named as round worms. They are free living. They are living in aquatic, terrestrial, or in a parasitic form. Or they are having an organ system level body. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and they are pseudocoelomids. The alimentary canal is complete. The excretory tube removes the waste through excretory pores. Then the sexes are separated, so they are known as dioecious. So now the next one is the identification between the male and female Ascaris, because the example of this phylum is Ascaris. We have some methods for identifying the male and the female Ascaris, because the male and the female form of Ascaris shows difference in their morphological characteristics. So let's now check in case of the examination in the size of Ascaris. In case of female, females are usually wider around the grow to be 20 to 40 centimeters. That is, they are long about 20 to 40 centimeter long, while in case of males they are thinner and they grow only up to 50 to 30 centimeter long. That is, the ascaris, the male ascaris is shorter than the female ascaris. In case of the examination of the posterior end of the worm or the ascarius worm, the female worms having a straight body while the males having a hook. They are hooked in shape. Now in the case of examining the posterior opening, the females lack such structures. They doesn't have any such structures. But in case of male worms, they have a pineal spicules or spine-like extensions near its opening. It will also have papillae or bum-like protrusions in front and behind this opening. In case of the examination of the body, the females have a reproductive opening on the posterior third of the body, while in case of males, they lack such openings. Now, let us check the phylum Annelida. They are known as the segmented worms because they have segmentations. In case of phylum Annelida, we can see that they are aquatic or terrestrial, they are free living, and sometimes they are parasitic as well. Organ system level, bilaterally symmetrical, metamerically segmented, and they are coelomate. They are marked into segments, longitudinal and circular muscles which help in the locomotion. Aquatic annelids like Neuris possesses a lateral appendages. Parapoda helps in swimming. The Nephridia which help in the osmoregulation and excretion. Neural system consists of a paired ganglia connected by lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. Neuris is aquatic form. They are dioecious, but earthworms and leeches are monoecious. So what is case of dioecious and monoecious? There are two new words for you guys. So let's know what is the meaning of dioecious and what is monoecious. That is, dioecious means when the sexes are separated in an organism, they are called dioecious. And if the sexes are found in a single organism itself, they are called as monoecious. The next one is phylum Arthropoda. So we can say that this is the largest phylum in Animalia kingdom. The very large that they have a jointed appendages, so they are called Arthropoda. That is arthros. The word arthros means joint and poda means appendages. The largest phylum in Animalia, which includes insects, the 2/3 of the named species is Arthropoda. The organ system level of classification, they have a body covered with chitinous skeleton. The body consists of head, thorax and abdomen. The respiratory organ differs from gills, book lungs or the tracheal form. They have an open circulatory system. The Malpighian tubules are the excretory organs. Let's check the examples now. In case of examples, there are some gregarious pests. They are locust. These locusts are the collection of certain species of short-horned grasshoppers family, and these insects are unusually solitary. That is, they are found only single phase, they are independent. But in certain conditions, they become more abundant, change their behavior, their habits, and become gregarious. Now, in the northern India, the locust attack is so abundant that it causes famine. So that much difficulty happens if they go into a swarming phase. So next one is living fossil. That is, they are limulus or the king crab. So next example is vectors. That is Anopheles, Culex and Aedes mosquitoes. So So the mosquitoes are also a part of the phylum Arthropoda. Now the economically important arthropods such as apis, that is the honeybees, Combix, that is the silkworm, Lactifer, that is the lac insects. Next one is phylum Mollusca. Mole means soft bottom. In phylum Mollusca, it is the second largest animal phylum. It is found in terrestrial, aquatic and organ system level of organism. They also have calcareous shell. They are unsegmented. They have distinct head, muscular foot and visceral hooks. Soft and spongy layer of skin. Then they form a mantle over the visceral hump. The mouth is fire-like rasping organ called radula. The anterior head region has sensory tentacles. The space between the hump and the mantles is called the mantle cavity. The mantle cavity have respiratory and excretory function. Now the next one is phylum Echinodermata. So in this phylum, the endoskeleton of calcareous ossicle, so hence they are named as Echinodermata or the spiny body. They are marine with organ system level. Echinoderms are radial while larva is bilateral. They have a water-vascular system which help in the locomotion, capture of prey, transportation of food and in respiration. Excretory system is absent. Sexes are separate, so they are dioecious. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect with free-swimming larvae. There are some examples given. Asterias, that is the starfish. Echinus, that is also known as sea urchins. Antedone, they are called sea lily. Cucumeria, which is called sea cucumber. Ophiurs, that's called brittle star. So as I promised before, I will be providing some questions. You can use this question also in your study material. So the first questions which I am providing is from the phylum Porifera, sponges. The commonly asked questions are what is the another name of phylum Porifera? What is water transport system? What are the functions of the water current? And what are the examples of Porifera? What is ostia? What is spongiocele? What is osculum? What is choanocytes? What is spicules? Which I have mentioned in one of my slides as some important terms in phylum Porifera. It is very important. So next one is from phylum COELENTRATA. The mostly asked question is which are the two basic forms. The next question would be alternation of generation, which is a frequently asked question. And the next one is to detailedly explain what is alternation of generation, what are the examples for polyp, what is the example for medusas, and you should compulsory study the examples of COELENTRATA, that is Physalia, Damsia, Pennatula, Gorgonia and Meandrina, because it can be asked as a match the following question or in one word. Next from phylum CTENOPHORA, the commonly asked question is what is the common name of CTENOPHORA, from where does it get the name, and the examples. Then from PLATYHELMINTHUS, the frequently asked question is what are the other names given for the word PLATYHELMINTHUS, and what is the specialized cell in PLATYHELMINTHUS, that is also frequently asked one word question. Then from Aschelminthus, what is the other name of Aschelminthus, that is a one word asked question. Then a very important question from this phylum is the identification between the male and the female ascaris. You should not go for any examination without studying this table because it's very important. In case of ANNELIDA, the frequently asked question is about to write about nearest, what are the examples of annelida, which organ, which are the muscles which helps in the locomotion, and what is nephridia or what is their functions. These are regularly asked questions. From phylum Arthropoda, the frequently asked question is, it is indirect question, that is which is the largest phyla in Animalia. The answer is Arthropoda. From where does the word Arthropoda comes from? It's from arthros and poda. Then the frequently asked question is example for gregarious pest, examples for living fossil, vectors and economically important arthropods. And you should study the excretory organ of, that is Malpighian tubules, that it is an open circulatory system, very important. And the respiratory organs differ from gills, book lungs and tracheal system. In case of mollusca, the asked question is, what is the meaning of mole? That is the answer is soft body. And from there it can be asked as the second largest phylum, which is the second largest phylum. Then what is the distinct organs of phylum Mollusca? Then what is the space between the hump and the mantle, which is known as the mantle cavity? That is the answer. Such questions can be asked. And from Echinodermata, the frequently asked question is water-vascular system. Most of the students make this mistake that Echinodermata and PORIFERA, the water-vascular system and the water canal system will be mixed up, and they may make some mistakes. Instead of PORIFERA, they may write Echinodermata. So thoroughly study the difference between water vascular system and the water canal system. What is the real name of starfish, sea urchin, sea lily, sea cucumber and brittle star? Just like I mentioned before, this can also be asked as a match the following questions. So guys, I hope you all understand today's discussion, and I hope you will understand the questions which I have given you as a bonus function for you as well. So in the next video we are going to discuss about chordate animals. Until now we have discussed about non-chordate, and the next video we are going to discuss about chordate animals. And you may have, if you're watching or you are studying this portion for the first time, you may have questions or any Q&As. If you have any doubts, questions regarding this portion, you can comment it on the comment box, and or you can detailedly message me on Instagram page. My Instagram page ID is just type Anamika's World of Science. You will get my Instagram page. Just give a follow and you can ask questions. I will surely reply to you all guys. So in the next video, stay tuned to my channel to study about chordate animals. It's Anamika signing off. Bye.